A lot of people have been talking about SHAARJ. We've kind of seen images of him in some stained glass, if you remember right, in the final boss fight room. It's interesting because SHAARJ, he kind of got wrecked. Remember, he's the one who got ripped out of the center of Azeroth. Okay, so I'm wondering, how's this guy going to come back? He literally got shredded by the Titans. But a lot of things have been kind of popping up hinting at his return. So let's see what this is all about. SHAARJ from our most trusted lore, lore channel, Doronsmovies. The man never speculates, only speaks facts. So let's see what he has to say.
SHAARJ, the most powerful old god in existence, was known as the Seven-Eyed Goat. That has been referenced multiple times, and his reflection was seen in a pool. Lo and behold, in 10.1, final boss fight with SHAARJ, we get this really mysterious looking glass that strangely resembles his outlook.
There's no coming back from that. It's probably a teenage kid.
We get a void pool, a shallow puddle-like void pool with 7 strange candles inside. The entire zone is the most mysterious and the very heart of Abyss, surrounded by void beings, and there are a bunch of void chains everywhere, very much akin to any old god prison. Furthermore, the primal incarnates know what is inside of Abyss, and they want SHAARJ to unleash the secret. Even more interestingly, what if we all read the Beyond the Waves hint wrong, and what the Titans really hid was the prison of SHAARJ on the Dragon Isles, that are, after all, isles, and quite literally
instead
beyond
of killing
the
him,
waves.
they imprisoned him?
We going to discover SHAARJ and this Abyss, quite literally the prison of the most powerful old god on Azeroth. If you guys are looking to buy Dragonfight or anything Warcraft related, Gamivo has some amazing sales that you can check out with my link. On top of that, you can get software, gift cards, various games at crazy prices. Best of all, you can use my code DORON to add yet another discount to your purchase, so make sure to click my link below, check out Gamivo, and grab some amazing deals. As I previously covered, there is definitely a lot of cosmic void planetary type influence within 10.1. I mean, this is evident not only with the data mine abilities, but also the void music we had discovered, just pure cosmic void. However, other than this, there are actually so many old god hints, and I don't think we can really separate the old gods
that would
from
mean the
the
Titans
void
are even
itself.
bigger liars.
Now, the most obvious hint we had discovered in Zerali Caverns outside of Abyss is literally the N'Zoth fish that was present with Ashara in that cinematic and in VFA, and now of course Ashara is relevant once again with the recent document. However, this time something that I don't think a lot of people are noticing, and that is the influence of SHAARJ is all around us. See, Blizzard changed up the lore, like really changed up the lore lately.
Blizzard changing the lore?
You can probably notice this. Not only did they heavily retcon the Titans, but also pretty much everything else together with that, since most of the lore we knew was from a Titan perspective. So the fact that SHAARJ was killed, that we take as a fact, I think can 100% be challenged at this point. Blizzard in the recent book confirmed that Yoxron is still around, despite us having
defeated him.
We defeated N'Zoth in the most complete terms possible, yet not only is his fish here, but there are a million different hints that he is coming anytime. Now, if Xal'atath is an old god, she was thought to be defeated, yet survived in that dagger. So literally, why is everyone just straight out accepting the fact that SHAARJ was just wiped out? Aventul just ripped out the old god, and that is that. Only his heart remained, and his influence was 100% wiped clean with a big scar to Azeroth. I mean, if it was that simple, don't you think the Titans would have figured out a way to just brute force the old gods out in a more controlled manner? They might have just needed to increase the precision, but we know that was not the case. In fact, we know that they
the whole thing about ripping SHAARJ out of Azeroth is it almost destroyed the planet. So they realized, oh, we can't do it that way. But Doran's saying they should have figured out a more precise way by now. If they had killed SHAARJ now the rumor is they didn't kill him. I don't know, man.
Remove the old
These Titans gotta get their shit together.
Accidentally created a cocoon, and they never really figured it out. So I really don't think this is the case. In an interview, Blizzard literally told us that death doesn't really work the way we think it does for the old gods, and with the fact that we went to the Shadowlands, this makes sense 100%. I mean, we know with complete certainty that all cosmic beings have their own versions of afterlives, and they literally just go back and forth. We have beings of life coming to and back from Shadowlands, we have other forces invading the afterlife, and a whole bunch of things, so it is really just one big huge mess. So just think about how stupid the idea is that SHAARJ, the most powerful old god on all of Azeroth, was just popped out like a pimple, and that is that to his story. Really, that is what the Titans would want others to think, and not the fact that they had to contain and just hide his influence. I mean, keep in mind, the God of 7 Heads was the strongest and the most dominant old god on all of Azeroth, yet all the others managed to survive, and this one, the strongest one, was defeated. Now finally, after all this time, we have a bunch of hints directly from 10.1, and we might just see his direct involvement. The final boss fight with Sarkaret literally has a void pool and a whole bunch of chains beneath the platform in the very heart of Neltharion's secret laboratory. Before we get into the hint itself, let's see why we can definitely connect this to SHAARJ and why he is known as the Seven-Eyed Goat and why a pool is a very strong sign of his return. So Cataclysm had an item known as the Puzzle Box of Yoxron that whispered to you, that gave you like these old god whispers.
This thing gave us a bunch of lore whispers.
An old god known as the Black Goat with 7 eyes, and the reason everyone connected that to SHAARJ is because Blizzard literally released official artwork of SHAARJ where he has 7 eyes and goat-like horns. Then in BF8 there was this item known as the Wriggling Mass that further confirmed this theory. We got a pulsating tendril and you get a vision from it, and it says literally this, and I quote, "In your mind's eye, you picture a many-eyed goat laying in a pool of black water. As you approach, its eyes burst open, and in an instant you find yourself looking upward at the goat from deep within the puddle. As you sink into the icy darkness, everything goes black." So you can definitely add 2 and 2 here yourself and see the connection of a many-eyed goat in a black pool of water and a black goat with 7 eyes from the...
Hey, aren't we also getting a goat pet in honor of Diablo? We're getting a goat pet, a red goat pet. I forgot what its name was, but yeah. Hey, maybe a hint.
Previous puzzle. Now, how does all this relate to Sarkaret at 10.1 and what is going on in Dragonfight? Well, first of all, the boss fight has multiple phases and there is very clear evidence of direct cosmic void involvement with a new starry sky void-like skybox, a ton of void elementals, but then we have this sort of mysterious stained glass with a really interesting illustration. While it definitely looks like a Therian and a void corrupted Deathwing, and most likely it is, I can't be the only one that can also see
This is the stained glass window that everyone was, you know, saying it's SHAARJ. I mean, we see, if you count the, I don't know what these would be, but we got obvious. You got the center eye up here. It does look like him for sure.
In this, I mean, literally, just compare this to the Hearthstone artwork. There seem to be horns, the eye in the center, the big one, and the claws. It's only the eyes that are not exactly over there in case of the number, because we have a bunch of circles that may just be random. However, this is, after all, only a lesser hint. We have the most important one. There is literally a shallow pool that appears in this boss fight, and remember the previous hint talked about
another goat. There's a very goaty theme here.
You can look down through it with a bunch of floating candles. The pool is very shallow and you can see a starry sky, and it's very much like some sort of an illusion, definitely described like the previous quote, where one moment you're peering into it, the other you're looking from the other side. Now, don't quote me on this, I've only seen this through the video, but there seem to be 7 candles
torches or whatever
the pool, which I gotta say, I could have counted wrong, but if this is the case, this might just be the biggest hint so far. I mean, I don't think we really need further hints. Now, we also have the quote from Il'gynoth that may quite definitely be related to this. To find him, drown yourself in the circle of stars. The pool is a circle, you can drown in a pool, and there are literally stars below the pool. So, I
wonder, you could see his breath here. Did he try to drown himself? Maybe he's got to drown himself. See his breath bar? Did he try that? I'm sure somebody did in PTR.
I don't think we need to go further into this. This might just be the biggest secret that is out there, and it might also go perfectly in line with the most recent Primal Incarnate cinematic. I don't know if you have noticed that the Incarnates seem to know what is hiding there. They know the Draktyr are following them, and they want them to claim their legacy. They're sort of mocking them. They probably want them to release the secret that is inside, as it might weaken the Titan influence, and this could definitely go in their favor. If this secret is SHAARJ, we might be in for some really big trouble. Sure, we know SHAARJ was originally around the middle of the mega continent of Kalimdor, where the Well of Eternity was. That is how the Well of Eternity was created when he was ripped away. My thoughts are that what remained of him had to be chained, and if they chained him on the Dragon Isles, we might just be discovering his prison. This especially makes sense, as there is a bunch of chains around this place. If this even is the case, we might have been wrong on the new continent on the other side of Azeroth that all of us have been speculating about this. Beyond the wave skin that the Titans sought to hide might have been the remains of SHAARJ this entire time.
Maybe.
After all, it would make complete sense. The Dragon Isles were isles, they were beyond the waves, and they were kind of hidden from the original map. I mean, keep in mind, we learned this Beyond the Waves hint from Deathwing's library, so this foreshadowing might have been for his ultimate weapon and the ultimate source of power, and that is that Neltharion may have been siphoning the power directly from SHAARJ himself that all of us thought was defeated. This might even be what ultimately drove him mad, as keep in mind, this guy was the most powerful out of all the old gods on Azeroth. I gotta give it to Blizzard, they're definitely doing a good job of not making the story predictable. However, so far, we have really strong Nazar.
I agree, there's good hints at different old gods. We're not sure which one's going to show up.
Cosmic Void hints as well, and all that combined with Primal Incarnates and their mysterious goals and the agenda of breaking Titan rule, so we might be in for potentially the biggest trouble to Azeroth in all of existence. I mean, imagine if we got combined mind of SHAARJ and Azat and even the other old gods together with the Warlords and just pure beings of the
It sounds like an expansion.
I mean, with this, a Legion invasion we got recently is going to be a walk in the park.
Shit was Fruity Pebbles compared to this.
Thank you for watching. Check out the very likely pure Void invasion that we might be getting soon as well by clicking on the screen, and check out Academy for videos on real world history. See you next time.
See you next time indeed.